You probably heard of LPT Realty. Well, today we're going to expose why LPT is the fastest growing brokerage in real estate history. I'm Jason Kranz, and I'm here with my buddy Isaac Guzman. We both are part of LPT Realty, and we're going to talk about a lot of things and the reasons why we joined LPT Realty. So, Isaac, let's start with money, right? We have options as real estate agents. They get to pick and choose what options they want. Go into a little detail about what your thoughts are with that.
The powerful part about LPT and what gets people excited is that they do have those options. And the reason that we need options inside the real estate brokerage world is because people are in different parts of their career. They're in different phases of building their business. So there's a time where maybe you want to pay your broker as little as possible so you can reinvest and accelerate your growth. And there's other times where you say, hey, listen, my business is thriving and I want to add additional streams of income or have access to additional resources. So that's what LPT does, is it allows you to pick the compensation plan and a bunch of other stuff too, by the way, but your compensation plan based on where you're at in your business. So the two basic models, first is Business Builder. Now, Business Builder is exactly what it sounds like. You are building a business. And what's important to a business builder? It's somebody who says, I need to be able to control my costs, keep my overhead low, and reinvest back into my business. And so that's where that model comes in. So here's how it works. Super simple. $500 commission per transaction, capped at $5,000 for the year. That's really it. There's no sign-up fee. There's no monthly fee. Now, there are additional fees on the first transaction of every single year as your anniversary resets. There's a $500 transaction fee. It covers all your E&O for that entire year. So it's just a one-time thing each year. And then in addition to that, on every transaction is a $195 transaction fee. Nothing that anybody would balk at or is unfamiliar with from their previous brokerage. So that's the initial compensation plan as Business Builder. Now, there's another compensation plan called Brokerage Partner, often referred to as Revenue Share Partner. Now, Revenue Share Partner is different in that the compensation structure is different and you also have access to different things. And I'll break that down in just a second. But here's how it works, is that it's an 80-20 commission split with the brokerage. And it's a $15,000 cap. For those of you who are not familiar with what a cap structure looks like, basically what you're doing is you're paying 20% of the gross commission income to the brokerage on every transaction until that 20% adds up to $15,000 for that year. And they use anniversary years. So if you join in August, it resets in August. It's not January to December or anything like that unless you joined in January. So the question then becomes, why would anybody choose the $15,000 plan over the $5,000 plan? And that's where we get into things like revenue share and stock, and you get higher stock awards, and you also get the opportunity to participate in revenue share. And we're going to break all that down at the end of the video, but I think it's really important that we understand that agents get to choose. And the kicker is this, is that when you start, that doesn't mean that's where you finish or you have to stay. So if you're a business builder, but you have aspirations to get pre-IPO stock or build up revenue share or build a team, great. You can transition over to that other plan anytime you want. And maybe you start off with this big of a business and you're running it. And then maybe you're ready to slow it down, bring down your costs, maybe go back into the retirement talk that you've been having for a while. Great. You can switch your plan there too. And so that's the beauty, is you have the option at the beginning, during, and in the future as well, because they want to help you remain flexible at all times in your business. That's why they call it the brokerage for life.
That is an awesome explanation. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, isn't it most important that you keep as much of your dollars in your pocket? I know there's no monthly fee to LPT. Is there any franchise fee with this, Isaac?
Good question. There's not. And the reason why is there's no franchisees. It's a national cloud-based brokerage. And we know that this model works because others have gone before and tested that portion of the model, and it works. So there's no additional franchise fee. Exactly what I described is it. There's no hidden stuff, anything like that.
Well, let me get into the reason why I joined LPT, and that is the marketing. Now, listen, I'm 50 plus years old. I won't give you my age. And I don't want to get into Canva and recreate all the prettiness that a lot of people are doing today. The marketing, the box sold me, and it's done for you. There's a ton of marketing behind LPT that really, grabbed people like me or grabbed someone like me. Get into a little bit of that, Isaac, because I'd like you to go into some details
Yeah.
and explain why people are joining like crazy with LPT on this.
It's really funny too, is that I think everyone in general can understand why this is powerful. It's a listing power pack. I mean, this is the basics of it. There's way more than this, and we have videos that break every single different pack down, but we'll talk about this core listing power pack real quickly. It's pretty obvious to everybody that if you can get a demo box for free that has 168 printed materials to market a property, they're full bleed, professionally done, all packaged up in this nice package, that you can go out and you can present that at a listing presentation and show off your marketing prowess and demonstrate why you're going to better market that property than anybody else in the market, right? So that's the first piece that gets people really excited. The second piece is that, well, it takes a couple clicks to order that box for your listing, because remember, you are promising something in that listing appointment and you need to deliver on that promise. Well, let's say you have this box, but you didn't have the affiliation with LPT. Well, the challenge is now you're on the hook to go generate all that material. Go into Canva. Am I going to get door hangers? Am I going to get the oversized mailer? Which one should I do? And is it formatted correctly? And the designer hasn't gotten back to me in 3 days. And by the way, is the print shop ready to go? And oh my goodness, the photos came in this way. There's a lot of moving parts to that, not just like getting the marketing materials together, but the brain power and the time it takes to do this. And so what happens at LPT is that you get a free listing box with every single listing. So you're using the demo box that you sign up for it the day you join. You get that demo box to go win the listing. Then you have to deliver on what you said you're going to do. Well, then you simply go order that box. You get it for free, 168 printed pieces of marketing material, door hangers, everything you need, business cards, handwritten note cards, all the stuff that you need to properly market that listing and generate more opportunities to list the neighbors' houses, because that's a big part of what we do with that. So while you're doing that for free, all you do is pay for shipping, right? This is a box that if you were to go buy it on the open market from a pre-packaged company, it's still going to cost you about $400 to $500 every single time. So the cool thing about this and why people are so excited about it is agents that are newer in the business, they get it and they can kind of see the vision for it, right? And they say like, oh, that would be nice and it would give me a leg up and it would shorten my time frame to be able to like not have to figure out how to also be a designer, right?
Right.
But the producers like yourself are the people that probably get the most excited and see it like instantly as a value proposition, because you know what it's like to have 4, 5, 6 listings in a month and have to run that process 4, 5, 6 times through your marketing department, where you're like, okay, well, let's make sure we order this. And is this just listed? Is it just sold? Is it coming soon? Right? All these things that take brain power. And so what we're seeing is really important is that LPT is a marketing company. LPT, for those of you who don't know, stands for Listing Power Tools. It literally was built on helping you, real estate agents, win more listings, sell those listings faster, and leverage those listings to generate more listing opportunities, right? And so that's what this whole thing is designed for. So imagine if you spent months, weeks designing this really great mousetrap, and then we're able to deploy it with a few clicks of a button. That's what we're talking about. But you don't have to pay for the R&D. You don't have to do the trial and error. You don't have to figure out and negotiate all the pricing with materials and the print shop and anything like that. It's literally upload 3 pictures, a few clicks of a button. I mean, we walked through it over the phone, right? I
Right.
think I was driving somewhere. We walked through it over the phone. So it's not just the accessibility, it's how quickly you can get it done and the ease of use. Tell me about your experience so far with the box, because I'm interested in how you guys have been using it.
Well, from a standpoint of being the age I am, not wanting to learn new technology, it's a couple clicks of a button. It's just like you said. I went in there, I ordered what I needed to do, uploaded a few pictures, one of the outside, a couple of the inside of the house. I picked my color option, which happened to be blue, and ordered the box. It came in, I paid my shipping. It came in 2 days. And so I was able to present that to the seller with their home on business cards, their home on huge flyers that we sat out in the home. And they were amazed. They were like, you do all of this for every one of your listings? It's giving me chills a little bit right now because it's so much different than what I was able to do prior. I had to literally sit down with the marketing team, tell them what I want, go through a process that took a week to just get proofs back. It's just done for me over. I don't want to think about things like this, Isaac. I
Yeah.
just want it done and easy to order. And this is what you guys have done.
Yeah. And then lastly, on this piece, multiply that by open house packs, prospecting packs, luxury, farm and
Right.
land, coastal, right? These are all different packs that you can get. And granted, some of them are free, some of them are not. They're always going to come at a substantial discount because LPT owns its own print facility and controls the entire process from how you order to when it lands at your doorstep. There is no third party integration here. They own that process and they run the entire process. That's what's really interesting that some people fail to acknowledge is when you own the entire process, all the vertical, from literally the technology was written proprietary inside LPT on how to click the button and what button gets clicked, and then into the print shop and how it gets delivered. I mean, with the exception of what we call last mile delivery, meaning like UPS dropping it off at your doorstep, with the exception of that, LPT controls and owns the entire process. That's huge.
Right. I was massively impressed with some of the stuff that I personally do not want to do. Like I said, I'm not getting in Canva, but also the social media posts that you can purchase as part of a package. And they have a couple different packages you can do with, you said you talked about just listed. I could pick a certain amount, 150, 200, all the way to 1,000 people around my listing to market to. And I love that. They even give you the option of collecting that data so I can continue to market them. I can continue to stop and talk to them by first name because I'm going to have their information at hand.
Mhm.
Really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously with some of that, leads into a little bit of our technology, right? We have a huge technology package with not only a CRM, but we have transaction management tools with dot loop, a little bit of AI technology, and the one that grabs me is this text capture integration that has been put on, some of our marketing packages. So talk about that a little bit, Isaac.
Yeah, I think one really important thing to understand about all that is it all runs from one core understanding, which is this is a marketing focused company, right? And so they're just lending us their tools and saying, hey, reach into our tool belt, reach into our toolbox, and do what we know how to do. And so the first part is, okay, we have great CRM options. You can choose to use KV Core, Lofty. You can use it for free. You can have a fully upgraded one for only $49 a month. It's really
Mhm.
your choice. Again, the theme at LPT has never been get it for free. The theme at LPT has always been options. So there is a completely free option where you're not paying any monthly fees to use Lofty CRM, or you can upgrade to the fully customizable version or the team version for small fees, right? But you have the option. And that's what's really great about that part of it. We also have dot loop, and then you have the option to use Skyslope if you're more familiar with that system. Again, great options. I think dot loop's amazing, so I have no need to upgrade for any of that stuff. I also think Lofty's great as is, so I don't need to upgrade for any of that. Now, the technology behind the marketing is also powerful because it does have some AI that is watching and allowing you to create and integrate all of your marketing on the platform. In addition to that, you're going to have LPT Connect and LPT Connect 2.0, and those are all a way of LPT Connect 1.0 was basically LPT's version of let's connect you, agent, to us, the brokerage. So it has ticketing systems. You can ask questions on there. It has the entire knowledge base, every single training they've ever done, any Monday morning mastermind they've ever done. It's all recorded, cataloged, and easily searchable and found on the back end. And then LPT Connect 2.0 is where we're connecting agents to agents. That's where we're building. That's where the referral platform is. That's where the training platform is. That's where we call circles are, and all of the content that people are putting out to help each other win in the industry. That's all sitting on LPT Connect 2.0. And then the other piece that you kind of mentioned. So that last piece, text capture technology, like we have to understand how powerful it is on two dimensions. One is for our lead generation, truly, right? Because think about this. Put your buyer hat on for a second. If you're watching this video, put your buyer hat on. You drive by a for sale sign, okay? And there's only a phone number there. And it says call. You're not calling. The reason why is
Right.
because you're avoiding salespeople like the plague. Everyone does it. I do it. I don't want to talk to salespeople, and I'm a salesperson. And it could be for a number of reasons. You don't like them, or like for me, I'm actually really easily sold. So if I get on the phone with a salesperson, I'm probably going to buy because I'm a sucker, right? It just is what it is. I'm just going to tell you the truth. So that's the thing is, if I could text, I know that I'm probably not going to get a phone call. I just want that information. So one is there's a lower barrier, right? There's less skepticism. Now, here's the other thing, and this is what I talked about in our mastermind earlier today, because we run a weekly mastermind. What I talked about is it's also important to explain that to the seller, how critical it is that we, as your agent, you're going to use me. It's critically important, not just kind of, critically important that when you hire me, that I get all the opportunities to meet all of the potential buyers. Every interested party has to come to me because, God forbid, they end up on some other website in some other agent's funnel who has no incentive to sell your house above any other listing that's out there. And God forbid they have a competing listing, then where do you think they're going to take the person who was initially interested in your home but ended up with another agent? They're going to take them over to that listing and try to sell them
Of
there.
course.
And so it's really important in sellers, you see this light bulb go off when you talk to them about it and go, you want me or whoever you hire. Let's say you don't hire me. You better make sure that whoever it is has all of the technology to be able to easily capture every potential and interested buyer because you don't want them ending up in another agent's pipeline and another agent's database. And so that's where the text capture technology is really important. Now, on the back end, what's really cool is you don't just get some little text. You get all that contact information. It comes in as a lead that you can then add to your database. And the last piece I'll say on this tech stack and everything is, and you actually brought up that point of, yeah, I can run ads to 1,000 people around that listing and I capture their information. There's lots of companies out there that can run ads for you and stuff, but what they don't do is think like you. They don't think like a business owner who also has a company that does retargeting, who also has an account where they're able to send off cards, right, to their database. And so the fact that they think about, well, here's our deliverable, but also I know that Jason, you have other things that you deliver on. You have other retargeting campaigns and stuff like that that you use, events that you're going to do, like a pie giveaway in November or whatever. How can I
Neighborhood
give
parties, etc.
neighborhood
Yeah.
parties, all that stuff? They understand that you're going to deploy additional marketing services. And so they also tee you up to do that. And I think that's one of the most overlooked things that they do.
Awesome, awesome. I want to touch on a couple things. You talked about a couple different options of CRMs.
Hmm?
Now, in our area, Cloud CMA has been eliminated from Stellar Matrix, which is our system.
Hmm.
So both of these have actually CMA builders inside of the CRM. So you could utilize that, whether it's Lofty or KV Core. It's entirely up to you, but those are both provided
Mhm.
by LPT. And I want to give a situation on this text capturing that we were just talking about. So we had an open house in our market on a Saturday, which is typically a pretty good day for us. We had two folks that showed up, which is a very small number. I was very surprised at it. And then we asked our resident to put up that text capturing sign, which features pictures of their home on it with a number that directly relates to me and a code that has to be punched in. Now, what happened with that, and you did allude to this a bit, is they text that number and it said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is looking for more information regarding this particular address. And I was able to connect with them immediately. And we had about an hour and a half back and forth text message dialogue. And we ended up taking her out a couple days later. And she put an offer on a house and it was accepted. That kind of stuff does not happen normally with other companies. You get leads, you see leads, but a lot of them don't answer, they don't discuss, they don't talk to you. So I was massively impressed with this, and it's directly related to me. Every
Mhm.
piece of information goes to me. So
Yeah, and that's what your seller client wants. That's in the
absolutely.
best interest of the seller that you got that text message.
Yeah. Who's more passionate about the house, me or some other agent?
Who's going to spend an hour and a half on a Saturday? Like, we got other things going on. Some random lead is texting you that's no proof of funds. They have not talked to a lender yet. Like, let's be real. This is how real life is. You're less likely to do that if it's not your listing.
Right, right.
Right? You're just
Well,
trying to get
listen,
them in the property next day.
we can always go deeper in this. If
Yeah.
anybody needs anything, make sure you DM us or click the link and schedule an appointment with one of us. But
Mhm.
we can go quite deep with a lot of the technology, a lot of the marketing. I wanted to get into help and support because
Yeah.
a lot of brokerages, they really don't they don't have the time for you, especially the ones that are very low cost,
Mhm.
not available when you need it. One of the things I found that I was massively impressed with is I could either dial or I could get in and place a ticket, we call it.
Mhm.
And they asked me would I want to hear back through text message, through a phone call, or through an email. And it's typically really fast. I mean, if I'm in need of something right this minute, I'll call,
Mhm.
right? And get hooked up with the right person. But if I'm okay for a little bit of time, I don't need the answer at that exact moment. I'll send a ticket, and it's usually about an hour. Is that your experience, Isaac?
Yeah, when I send a ticket, I get it's usually resolved in about an hour. And the chat is pretty quick too. As a matter of fact, I've never had a situation where I waited more than 10 minutes on the chat.
Awesome.
And here's the other piece too that I think sometimes can be lost is on the ticketing system. You have to remember it's not just a ticket that gets created and sent to your broker or the marketing team or whatever issue you're trying to resolve, right? The accounting team or whatever. It's not just sent to the person who's going to solve the problem. There's actually a customer support representative assigned to that ticket. So now you have this additional person who's like, hey, did you guys solve it yet? Did you solve it yet? Hey, accounting department. Hey, broker, can I clear my ticket? Because my job depends on my clearing tickets, right? And so that's something I know for sure I didn't anticipate, but then as I started seeing it happen and I'm seeing them pinging the person to get the answer more than I did, and then reaching out to me to make sure that it was resolved to my satisfaction, like that's crucial.
Yeah. And for those of you that need quick responses, this is the way.
Oh
You
yeah.
don't have to question whether the broker or the background support is going to take care of you in a
Yep.
timely manner because they do.
Yep.
Let's go past that into education. I know LPT just released a little bit of information about what they're looking to do in 2025. Of course, they already have some back end education that exists, but now they're making a huge push for education within the industry. Is that right?
Massive. So it's called the Ascend Initiative. And let's just get the big thing out there, which is they're committed to 1,000 events, right? Training events in
Wow.
2025. That's a
Fantastic.
couple a day, 7 days a week if we were to span that out. Now, it's not going to be 7 days a week, so it's probably 2 to 3 a day during the week. That's massive. What I think there's two things that sit on top of that that make it really powerful. One is there is a tremendous amount of talent at any brokerage. Name a national brokerage, and if you were to go through that entire roster, you'd find a tremendous amount of talent. The difference is that you cannot pool all that talent in one room at one time or in one easy to find searchable database. That does not exist. And that's the thing that the Ascend Initiative has going for it is that, yeah, you can find a bunch of talented people in any brokerage, but are they all accessible? Are they all on the same platform? Is it all recorded, cataloged? And does it have AI powered behind it? Because that's a big piece too, is there's an AI sitting behind this training platform that's guiding us. So Jason, you're going to have a different path than I will. It's going to make recommendations different for you than it would for me based on what it is that we're doing in our business, based on who we follow on the platform, right? So it points you in a customized growth plan, which I think is probably one of the biggest missing pieces that when I talk to real estate agents for about when they're thinking about moving brokerages or joining a team or something like that, they go, I just want to know that someone's actually thinking about what my next step is, right?
Yep.
And so it's possible. The other piece that's really crucial for the Ascend initiative, that's incredibly important, is going to be, sorry,
Hey, listen,
yeah, go ahead.
three, two, one. I loved, honestly, that you touched on this because one size does not fit all. I might have the desire to help 12 families in a year, or I could be that person that wants to build a team and go to crazy lengths to help 100 people. But there's a lot of opportunity in education in the back end that I've seen that allows me as a single agent to decide the path I want to be on.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and it's really important too that we understand the value of opportunity cost. If in your business plan you have no plan, no language around probate and going after probate leads, most agents, if they're called by their title rep or their mortgage person and goes, "Hey, we're doing a probate training on Friday. Can you be there?" They'll go. Well, the opportunity cost is that has nothing to do with your plan. It's going to derail, right? And you're going to waste that time that could have otherwise been spent executing on your plan that you've already decided on, that you've already
Mhm.
invested time and energy and resources into. And so having this AI going, Jason, that's not part of your plan. This is part of your plan, right? You could spend your time here or you can spend your time here. Based on what I know about you, you should spend it here. That's powerful, right? That's a training assistant, essentially,
Right, right.
right? Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, you touched on revenue share and a little bit
Mhm.
about stock options. There's a lot of agents that want nothing to do with, building a business. They want to just be a single agent, which they would, according to what we were talking about, they would pick the builder option, which is the $500 per file commission taken out, right?
Yes.
And there's this other side, the people that want to build this team. They want to build and help agents, which honestly has always been my joy, is to help people, get to the success level that they want. And I think they should be celebrated, whether they want 12 a year or 100 a year.
Yeah.
That's their goal, right?
Completely.
So let's talk a little bit about, you said something about stock. Now, stock isn't readily available. You can earn stock, but it's not traded yet, right?
Correct. So you get two different types of awards for stock at LPT. Now, the reason why it's not traded yet is because it's pre-IPO. The company is not publicly traded. The target is Q4 of 2025 for them to do an IPO or initial public offering. Currently, it's being underwritten by JP Morgan, so it's no joke, right? They want to list big. They don't want to start on a small market and then uplist, right? And so there's a very specific strategy there that I believe in. But here's the cool thing is that it doesn't matter if you're somebody who has a YouTube channel or whatever. If you're just out there doing your job, selling homes, you're going to be rewarded with stock. So here's how that works. On your first, third, and 15th transaction of every single year, you are issued a certain amount of stock, right? And now that's on the business builder side and the rev share or brokerage
Both sides,
side. Both sides, they do.
both earn. Awesome.
Both earn. Now, the difference is that if you're on that 80-20 split, capped at 15,000 for the year, you get issued more stock, right? And you also have the option or the opportunity, should I say, to earn what's called black badge, which is not just on your first or your third or your 15th, but on your 35th transaction of the year, you're awarded an additional lump sum of stock, right? It's not dollar figures, it's actual units of stock that are awarded to you. And that's if you're on that plan. So there are some benefits. Those people who are really excited about that pre-IPO stock or teams, right? They really focus on that and they will go that route. But the stock is issued then. The additional time when you get awarded stock is not just through production, but through attraction. And so anytime you attract somebody to the brokerage, which let's be real, it's not incredibly hard, no sign up fee, no monthly fee, free marketing, and a $5,000 cap, not the hardest thing to attract people to. But as you succeed more, this is the beautiful part. As the more you succeed, the more homes you sell, the more you focus on real estate first, the easier it is to become an attractor because people just go, "Hey, I don't know about all that other stuff, but I would like to learn how to do what you did. I would like to go from 4 units to 13." Right?
Right.
And so as you become an attractor and people name you as their sponsor, you actually get awarded for that as well. And so yes, you're given pre-IPO stock. And then once they do their IPO, then it's actually something that you can trade once it's vested.
Yeah, but Isaac, that could be worth $1, could be worth $5, could be worth $20. We don't know. But the truth is, it's worth more than most brokers are giving you, right? I
Mhm.
mean, you're seeing what? What do you get from your brokerage currently? Zero?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll take that. For my production alone, we're not talking about recruitment. And I hate that word. I have to be honest with you. I like to say introducing this business. You say it's not real hard. I mean, low dollar as far as per transaction. Even the transaction fee is the lowest I've heard,
Yeah.
195 versus my last brokerage was $299.
Mhm.
You have the technology behind you. You have the marketing behind you. What are we thinking about here? I
Yeah.
mean, truth, if you really compare brokerage to brokerage, and if anybody knows me, I don't know about Isaac, but I overanalyze everything. I swear to you, I took me 2 years to buy a Tesla, Isaac. You don't even know that. But when I looked at all the brokerages, a couple things really stood out. And this is where I want to conclude a little bit. Obviously, from a marketing standpoint, it's done for you, right?
Mhm.
You have options as an agent. You get to call it, whether you're on a team or a single agent. You get to call, right? Of course, all of the back end tools that we have with a CRM, a transaction management piece, a lot of other things that are in the back end of the business. Plus, you get stock options based on your transactions, not my transactions. If you brought me into the business, yours. Or you can build a business helping others by introducing them to this business.
Mhm.
Anyway, stop thinking, make the decision, talk to one of us, and we'll at least go in depth with some of these things if you need it. Okay. If you ever need to see the box, I'll show it to you.
So if you got some value out of this video, which I'm sure you did, and you're here for a very specific reason, here's what you're going to want to do next. You're going to want to go in the description below. It has all of Jason's contact information. You're going to want to book one-on-one time with him. I'm also going to be on that call, and we're going to explore everything about LPT. We're going to look at how it compares to where you're currently at and how it can help you grow. And in addition to that, we'll spend a few minutes on how we, as a partnership, right, at Real Estate CEOs inside LPT, would partner with you to help you grow and scale your business using all of these wonderful things that we just talked about, because we love sponsoring agents just like you all across the country. So until next time, keep on crushing it. Thanks so much, Jason.
Let's go.